Hello and welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to Big Mouth Live. Do you remember when we were complaining that there was no DC news? Well, we certainly got DC news now. So I'm going to wait for some people to come in. If anyone, of course, does come in, we shall see. We've got one viewer already. I wonder who that is. Could be a lurker. Could go away very quickly. Or it could be someone who's interested in watching. So I want to talk about the merger, of course I do. But I found this really annoying article about J.J. Abrams on Screen Rant, and I really want to read it out. And I'll wait for a few more people to come in. J.J. Abrams doesn't think he'll direct any DC movies. This is outrageous. Why did you come in for, J.J.? What, so you could be a producer? Told you it was a lurker. They soon went, didn't they? They soon went. But let's see if anyone else is going to come in to the chat. Of course, it's been a massive day. Last night, Disney went to bed, the champions of entertainment. And now Warner Media are stealing their thunder. It really is sensational. So I'm going to read this article and let's see if anyone actually comes in tonight. It's not looking good right now. There's no spectators, but I'm going to read this. So J.J. Abrams has cemented himself as a major franchise player, but as he develops more DC projects, he has little interest in directing them. By Rachel Abernathy of Screen Rant. J.J. Abrams may be developing various DC projects, but he doesn't think he'll be directing anything set within that superhero world. Abrams rose to fame through television, creating and writing for shows such as Felicity, Alias, and Lost. Over the years, he transitioned more into film and became something of a mainstay within the Junior franchise. Well, he helped reboot both Star Trek and Star Wars for the big screen. His most recent debated Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Since then, Abrams has begun to build up an impressive development slate through his Bad Robot production company, which includes multiple DC-based projects. This includes a Justice League Dark series for HBO Max and a Superman reboot, which would focus on a Black Kal-El. In regards to the latter, the Superman movie remains without a director, but it is already clear it won't be Abrams. Warner Brothers is committed to looking for a black director for the project, though it also sounds like Abrams doesn't have much interest in directing movies centered around established IP at this time. Oh, I wonder why. Bobcat just finished the premiere. What did you think, Bobcat? And welcome to the chat. I'm reading an article about J.J. Abrams claiming he doesn't want to direct any DC movies. He doesn't want to direct anything with established IPs, and I wonder why that is. Abrams recently spoke to Collider about his Apple TV series Lizzie's Story. Stephen King adaptation he produced. During the conversation, he touched upon whether he would ever step behind the camera for any of the DC projects he is currently working on. Abrams confessed that at this point he would rather direct an original project. Again, I wonder why. I know that Hollywood is a place where it is used to be that people will be inspired by something that they would see, or an old film, or a show, or something, and think, oh, here's my response to that. Here's a version of that. It becomes a place where more often than not, you see something and people get inspired by it and go, let's redo that exact thing. I feel like as someone who started writing in television and telling original stories on film and TV is something that I really do miss. The few things that I'm working on now as a writer are original ideas. I just feel as a director, I really would love to have my next projects be things that didn't pre-exist me necessarily. And so this is not him necessarily saying he's not going to direct any DC stuff, but he's got no intention. He's got no intention of doing it thus far. He was burnt with Star Wars, right? And Star Trek Into Darkness. And now he's too scared to deal with existing IPs. JJ, the fans want you to do a Superman movie, and you're giving us this. I'm sorry. I'm not happy about this. Bobcat, love the videos. 4 recorded videos in 2 days. You're pumping out the content. I certainly am, and you don't know how difficult it is with this crap internet as well. Elsewhere in the interview, Abrams called working with beloved IP as a double-edged sword. Over the years, Abrams has made his mark on franchises like the previously mentioned sci-fi beam-offs like and Mission Impossible. It's been some time since he took on a wholly original project as a director. The last and only was in 2011 with Super 8. After spending so much time shepherding these giant franchises, It makes sense that Abrams would like to take a step back and focus on something he developed himself, as he likely saw with Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Established IP can come with intense reactions from fans who predetermine ideas of what should happen. Abrams has more creative freedom with original pieces. This isn't to say he won't ever return to franchise sphere, of course. Abrams still has all those DC projects on the pipeline, and though he evidently won't be directing them, he'll have a hand in what happens. In fact, it will be interesting to see how the DC projects turn out. As a franchise installments, Abrams helped develop but did not direct himself. This has already been seen through the other properties Abrams has worked with, but DC's new territory for him. Who knows what the future holds? So, Bobcat, don't know if I'm excited about the merger, though. We're going to discuss it very shortly. So, Abrams claims he's not interested in existing IPs right now, but to me, it's just excuses. You got burnt, JJ. Get back on the horse, mate. People have got passionate reactions. Get back on the horse, right? We wanted you to come to Warner Brothers and DC to make a Superman movie. This is outrageous. Your excuses won't wash with me. I'm a big fan of yours, but this is outrageous. So, Bobcat, if all these new upcoming projects are gutted, I will be furious. Right. It's a big day, Bobcat, that's for sure. No one saw this merger coming, but John Stankey has certainly pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. We thought he was just standing there and allowing WB Pictures to do what they wanted. But he shocked everyone, and now we know why Toby Emmerich is looking for a new job, because there's no way his contract will be extended in this new merger. I am really excited for this merger. For you, Bobcat, you do not need to worry. They are not going to cancel the Suicide Squad. We have 3 movies in production. They're happening. It's going to happen. This deal won't be cemented till mid-2022, but you will see big decisions being made in terms of who works for the corporation. This is a big thing. Warner Media merging with Discovery. It's absolutely huge. And Bobcat, I want Gunn to get his Harley project, though. But the thing is, Bobcat, what company in their right mind wouldn't want James Gunn to do more DC projects anyway? So I wouldn't worry about that too much. I don't see anything in terms of projects won't be shelved. That would be a very dramatic thing to do. These are things that are going to happen. They want the company to make money. These 4 movies and the 3 HBO Max shows will make money for them. So nothing's going to happen. Bobcat, if Gunn's stuff is replaced by Snyder, I might have a problem there. No, Gunn's stuff is not going to be replaced. Peacemaker is happening. The Suicide Squad is signed, sealed, and delivered. And so at the end of the day, and in terms of Snyder, it's still a very problematic situation. There's certainly more hope for the Snyderverse to continue over on HBO Max. Now with this new merger and this new ownership, the mentality could be different. But it's not a foregone conclusion that the Snyderverse will be restored. But I do feel that HBO Max will be rebranded, and they're going to have, for me, call it Warner Discovery Plus, or something like that. It should never have been called HBO Max. People need to know that Warner Brothers are part of this streaming service. So HBO Max, it was called HBO because HBO has got a good reputation. I get it, but it wasn't the greatest of names for a streaming service, which is basically all about Warner Brothers. So, Bobcat, no offense to Snyder, I love his films, but I love Gunn's style way more. That's fine, but you don't need to worry about that. I can assure you right here, right now, exclusively, nothing's going to change. James Gunn is a highly respected creative, and he'll be back to do more stuff. But of course, this is a huge franchise. There's space for so many different creatives. Anyway, so as I say, I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to take Warner Brothers on another level. If you're a fan of the Warner Brothers IPs, as I am, and if you're a fan of DC, then you are going to want this merger. It now makes Warner Media bigger than Disney. And in this new guy who's going to be running this CEO, who's the CEO, by the fact, of Discovery as well. So this is a guy who knows entertainment. So people at AT&T don't necessarily have someone like that. So to have a CEO who actually understands the game and can have a spectrum and balance the spectrum between cinematic releases and streaming is going to be very, very important. So they're going to make the HBO Max streaming service bigger than it ever would have been. This is huge. This is massive. This is a great coup for John Stankey. So how it works basically is that AT&T stakeholders will have around 70% of this new kind of merger, and Discovery stockholders will have around 29%. But it's interesting that this Discovery CEO will have, will be the CEO, will be in charge of this new merger, this new company. So basically what's happening is that control of Warner Media will be within this new merger, and Discovery will have a big control over that, this new CEO. It's interesting. Look, it's Ronnie Dodge. Hey, mate, I think the merger is good for DC, and nothing really changed until next year. Yes, about that, obviously, nothing officially, it's not cemented officially, but as you can see, and as I explained in the video I put up, the recent video I put up, they're going to announce the name for this company in the next 2 weeks, either this week or the next. I can see it being Warner Discovery. So this is different now. So basically you've got a new Pictures, you've got a Warner Discovery Pictures, right? So they'll change the name. So it's interesting though. Will Warner Media still be Warner Media? Or is this company now, right? Because Warner Media is merging with another company. So that's interesting. Nightjaw, hello again. Hello, Nightjaw. How are you doing? Yes, so it's huge. So to clarify, AT&T and Discovery are not merging. Warner Media and Discovery are merging to make one company. Ronnie Dodge, the DCEU isn't going to change. It's going to carry on with the multiverse strategy. Very interesting, Ronnie. It has to work. Hamada's contract runs out just after Flashpoint is released. Has to work, especially now with this new setup. It's huge. Nightjaw, I'm doing good, thanks. How are you doing? Thank you, Nightjaw. Doing very, very well. Excited by this merger. I was complaining last week. No news to talk about. This is the biggest news, and we could have some Henry Cavill news this week as well, which is of course huge. So, where before we had Warner Brothers Pictures, a Time Warner company, and now we've got Warner Media, Bobcat. Then again, we didn't see this coming, so who knows what they're going to do. Massive changes. They are going to gut Warner Brothers Pictures. You heard what I read in the video. They said that they like Jason Kilar and they want to keep the good people. This is double talk for getting rid of the weak and keeping the strong. Right, so this is very, very interesting now. They know the toxicity of Warner Brothers Pictures. They know the civil war between them and Snyder. And it seems obvious now, all the talking Snyder did last week during the promotion of Army of the Dead was purposely because he knew this merger was coming. So Snyder is very, very clever. And I take back some of the stuff I said. He is a master tactician. That's how he got the Snyder Cut released. Amazing. Marcus Walker, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I think it's interesting they included the Zack Snyder's Justice League poster in that promotional piece. Faith, Alfred, Faith. You'll have to explain that to me, Marcus. What poster for what? Explain it. I've missed this. Been so busy today putting out videos, I haven't caught everything. So explain to me what you're talking about there. I need your help. You're part of the channel, of course. And so now we don't have, Warner Brothers Pictures, a Time Warner company. So it's interesting, isn't it? So Warner, the films come up as Warner Media. It's all under one banner, but the banner's going to change. This is huge. Ronnie Dodge, I don't think Zack will be back doing DC after the merger. I just can't see it. My attitude. It's looked like a lost cause, but everything's different now, Ronnie. Everything's different. This is new ownership, basically. This is a merger. AT&T are cutting loose of the media and the entertainment, and they're going back to being a telecommunications company, and they're just going to pick up the profits of this new merged company. So basically, Discovery are running things now. They're helping AT&T pay off their huge amount of debt, which is a great deal for them. But also, Stanky has put something amazing together. And so it's no question, Marcus Walker, there was a collage with some of the major properties involved and the merger, and it was there front and center. Well, that's very exciting, Marcus. That says something. Everything is up for grabs now. It's very interesting. Nigel, I'm hoping this merger is a step closer to restoring the Snyderverse. Me too, my friend. Also, I'm looking forward to Henry Cavill's announcement. Fingers crossed, it's good news. Things are changing all the time. And I read that J.J. Abrams article before some of you came in about him saying he's not ready to do pre-existing IPs right now. And maybe that's because things are changing all the time. And so I think things will change. This is huge. And what I liked about hearing this guy, David, who is the CEO of this new, Warner Brothers Discovery merger, I never heard him mention representation and inclusion once. He spoke about entertainment. This is what I want to hear, and I'm sure this is what you guys want to hear as well. Bobcat, I don't know if I'm being honest. I didn't care for BBS, and Man of Steel wasn't my favourite. That opinion is out there. That's your opinion, and you're entitled to it. I love Man of Steel. I love Batman versus Superman. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League, but nobody else has to. I love them. I've been watching the Snyder Cut every night when I go to bed. For me, the man is a very unique director, but he makes films that are not for everyone. But certainly, there is an audience to have the Snyderverse somewhere. We know that. That's obvious. You don't bite your nose off to spite your face, do you? But there needs to be a central universe, like they're doing now, that brings a broader audience in. And this new ownership, this new merger, will want that as well. So I think the plan that's going ahead now is going ahead. But Flashpoint is the moment. That film has to work financially and in terms of fan reaction. If it doesn't, then it's curtains. Hamada will be out. Sarnoff will be out. This is new ownership, people. And I was saying shit this morning on my live. It won't make a difference because I didn't know the details. Even when I did my first pre-recorded video, I was talking shit. Then I heard the new CEO speaking, and then I realized this is a big thing, and things are going to change behind the scenes. We want a cleaner Warner Brothers. Wouldn't it be nice if they create a Warner Brothers we can be proud of and stop complaining about it and not have this toxicity behind the scenes? Bobcat, Snyder can direct, but he isn't a great writer. Yeah, I think that it isn't his strength. He's certainly a wonderful director, but at the end of the day, he makes interesting films, and there should be a place at a studio for someone like this, but he shouldn't be running kind of a central universe, and I know I'm going to get killed for that. But come on, like the video, come on. I've been giving you content galore today. What? Do I have to be unattractive to get likes? Hold on. Alright, welcome to my video. I'm from the Fandom Menace. Yeah, I really hate everyone, man. Oh my god, I've got lots of likes. So, yeah, I get your point there, Bobcat. You've got good takes, my friend. And, yeah, you don't have to like Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is a sensational film. I think it's like taking speed and everything's at such a pace. Again, not the ideal Superman film like the purists would have wanted, but it's there, it's out there, and, look, we're in interesting times now. I didn't expect this, but you know what? I think something had to give, because no matter Zach, the way Zach's conducted himself at times, or Ray Fisher, the point is that Warner Brothers Pictures can't continue the way it is. There is a lot of toxicity at that company. They need to clean house, and that's for sure. Bobcat, I don't hate Man of Steel just compared to the other DCEU films. Fair enough. Wait, you prefer Birds of Prey to Man of Steel? Be honest. Not a problem if you do. Different strokes for different folks. So, yeah, look, It is huge. It is huge. This is, you know, I never look, as I say, I see a lot of things coming. As you know, I make a lot of predictions that come true. And I kind of felt that, you know, it still felt a bit uneven at Warner Brothers Pictures. I mean, Ann Sarnoff's variety hit piece is interesting now. Maybe she knew about that at the time. They're fighting for their very lives now, and this is not good for the people at Warner Brothers Pictures because everyone is fighting for their jobs now. Ronnie Dodge, look, if the multiverse is successful, they're going to stick with it. But I don't see the Snyderverse being restored unless Ray and Zack sort their relationship out with Warner Brothers. Well, here's the thing, Ronnie. Those people at Warner Brothers could be removed anyway. So this is the thing. We're talking about new ownership here, basically. We're talking about a new CEO. A new name for this company is going to be announced in the next 2 weeks. This is brand new. We're starting from scratch. So this is why I've got more hope for the resurrection of the Snyderverse. Now, I don't know for sure, and you could be right, my friend. In terms of the multiverse strategy, you're right. If it's successful, and I want it to be successful, no problem. If it's not successful, heads will roll now because these are people who are ambitious. They want to take Warner Brothers to the very top. And the NBC Universal thing's interesting as well because it could be another merger between them, Warner Media, and Discovery. Ronnie Dodge, Walter Hamada isn't going anywhere though. Ronnie, if the Flash movie fails, he will go. If it's successful, it's simple. It's like you, whatever job you do, right? You know, your boss is going to sack you if you're not bringing in the bacon. I don't want him to go, by the way. I like Walter, as you know. Bobcat, I can have good time with the Birds of Prey. I still think I prefer Man of Steel, but I've watched Birds of Prey more. Don't like the commentary, but I like Harley. Yeah, I like Harley, but difficult. There are good things about the film, don't get me wrong. But as I say, this morning when I read this, I was defensive this morning. You probably saw it from my live video. No, nothing's going to change, blah, blah, blah. But when I read what the CEO had to say, there's certainly ambition here. This is good. Look, for me, this is good. I just feel bad for Jason Kilar. Well, it's interesting, Ronnie. Not necessarily going to lose his job, but obviously, is Warner Media going to be a separate entity, or are they going to unite these companies together? Do you know what I mean? This could be a central company now, not Warner Brothers Pictures, not Warner Media, but with this Warner Media Discovery company now, it's the whole thing. It's the whole entertainment. So would they need Jason Kilar there? I believe that Jason Kilar will probably be the CEO of HBO Max, which will change its name, obviously, now. And it's going to be a huger platform than it was before. So I expect Jason to keep his job, a little bit of a demotion, but his history is streaming. So it will be great for him to be totally running HBO Max. And maybe Ann Sarnoff should be moved over there because her history is streaming as well. So I think things are going to change dramatically. This whole company is now going to clean house. And I think this can now, if you're a fan of Warner Brothers like me and the IPs they have in DC, I would be excited. Bobcat, Harley Quinn is my favorite fictional character of all time. And Snyder wants to kill her, so I left the Snyder Cut on a bad note. Well, don't forget, look at this logically. He killed her in the Nightmare sequence. In the sequels, that was going to be erased, the Nightmare future anyway, so she wouldn't have been dead, would she? Look at it like that. So I can understand why you'd be triggered, but she's still going to exist, especially in a multiverse as well. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much, but I can understand why that hurt you. I mean, I was pissed off they killed off Zod in Man of Steel. I thought that was dumb. But yeah, so, you know, the potential is limitless now. And as I say, these are new people. This is a new leader. This is a new company, basically, with new ideas, a focus on a huge streaming, and, you know, it's going to get bigger. There can be no talk of Disney being the biggest now. So for me, as a fan, this is exciting. This is good. Ronnie Dodger, I'm not getting my hopes up about Snyderverse. Just wait and see where things go. Yeah, we don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just saying there's more hope than there was. Because these people want to make money. They know having that guy's movies on a streaming service can work. Not centrally, but there should be, as I say, there should be a place for talented people at the new Warner Brothers Discovery thing, right? There should be. Any company sees someone like Snyder, but if he's on a streaming service, he can have freedom, he can do what he wants, and he don't allow him to get involved with the central stuff, and that's fine. So, and for me, it's more possible than it was, because Warner Brothers Pictures are not really in a strong position right now. And as I say, it was clear why Snyder was shutting his mouth off last week. He knew about the merger. And so it's a bit, look, this is as dramatic as it gets. Everyone now is under pressure, but the 4 movies are happening, the 3 HBO Max shows are happening. There's no going back from that. But how will they do? That's what we've got to find out. But for me, it's very interesting, very interesting. As I keep on saying every night, things are changing all the time with this company. Now, it's interesting when Nightjaw, Bobcat, I know the feeling when I heard she died in the future, I was shocked. Her death was during a talk, but given the multiple timelines, she could be alive in other timelines. And as I've already said, that nightmare future will be dissolved when the heroes, when the message goes back to Batman and that is stopped. And then we're back to the present day, not the nightmare future, and Harley will still be alive. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. That's why I was never worried about Harley being killed off in the nightmare future, because it doesn't matter, because that future won't exist when they defeat, when the Flash goes back in time in Justice League 2 and warns Batman. So that's absolutely cool. I wouldn't worry about that too much. But it's an interesting time again, and ever since Bobcat, Harley just means something to me, and I don't think he'll do her justice, so I'm a little mad. And we don't know if she dies before the nightmare or not. We don't, but it's kind of, it's in there, isn't it? So I don't think, listen, he's part of the Elseworld anyway, he's ahead of himself. So in the Central Universe, she's still alive, because he's not running the Central Universe. He can't kill her off. But maybe he knows something else. I nearly said something then. But so who knows? Who knows? I mean, if you're hurt by that, that's yours. That's your business. But I wouldn't worry about it too much in terms of the future. But Margot Robbie did piss off Warner Brothers Pictures with what happened with Birds of Prey. There's no question about that. And, who knows? She's going off to Disney to do this Pirates of the Caribbean girl power thing. So, who knows? Who knows, my friends? The entertainment industry is a complex industry. I'd rather focus on what I see on the screen rather than what's happening behind the screen. But interesting times. And even though they don't cement this deal to next year, decisions are going to be made now. Already announcing a name for this new company this week or next week shows us what's going on. Bobcat, her and Gunn are signed onto Harley Project and she wants Ivy in it. Yeah, she's not going to get what she wants, but maybe the studio will introduce Ivy, not because Margot Robbie wants it. It makes sense. She only wants it so she can virtue signal about LGBTQ. But I love Ivy and I love that. Bobcat, I want that, not Harley dying to progress the Joker. I don't think Harley's going to die. Forget Snyder's Elseworld. It's an Elseworld. It has nothing to do with the Central Universe and Gunn's world and what's going on there. That's what the multiverse strategy is about. If Snyder was to return, his Elseworld is something different. You could have a Margot Robbie Harley Quinn from Snyder's Elseworld, but she's not the same one as from the Central Universe and Gunn's world. This is where we're heading now. But I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen next. It's very interesting, and I think people should be excited. This is not negative. Ronnie Dodge, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I like Zack, but he's just another DC director that comes and goes. But if it's restored, it's an Elseworld. It's an Elseworld, yeah. As I say, I think Snyder is talented enough to have a place at the studio. Bobcat, if Snyder is made in charge of everything, though, because of the demand, and he kills her, I will walk out of the theatre. He's not going to be in charge of everything. There's no way. These people are not going to put Snyder in charge of everything because they know how the public react to his films. Ronnie Dodge, but it's going to be a very interesting year. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, my friends. This is huge. This is nothing else could have changed. This just changes the whole scope of everything. Because what you've got to understand about this CEO, this is because it's interesting because Discovery have only got 29% stake of this new company. AT&T stockholders have got around 70%, but they're putting the Discovery CEO in charge of this because he knows what he's doing. This is a Bob Iger we're dealing with. That's very, very exciting. Bobcat, like I have a lot of saltiness towards that storyline, as you can tell, and I respect that. Roddy Dodge, I mean this mean bigger announcements at Fandom then, yeah, and bigger announcements before Fandom. Bobcat, I remember storming off after finishing the Snyder Cut and ranting for hours. Wow. Yeah, look, you're passionate about Harley. I don't blame you, but this is what Snyder does, isn't it? This is what makes him a controversial storyteller. He kills off Dick Grayson instead of Jason Todd. When I first heard that, I was pissed off. But he did it to make it a more personal thing. But this is why he can't run the Central Universe, obviously, because, you know, he doesn't care. He'll just do anything. So I just feel that this is why he would never, ever be in charge of it. I mean, that will be a huge decision. That will be interesting. But you need a broader audience. He doesn't attract a broader audience. But there's definitely a place there. I think there's a chance now. I think there's a chance for him to get back. And he's certainly been talking a lot. Bobcat, I enjoyed the movie, but he killed Harley. He already killed Nightwing, my favorite DC hero, and now he thinks he can kill Harley. Oh, Bobcat's awful one, which is good. It's good for the chat. Keeps it interesting, doesn't it? Bobcat, so yeah, his storyline has upset me. I better not kill Harley off then. So, Bobcat, if James Gunn kills off Harley, how are you going to feel? Ronnie Dodge, Zack can't run DC, but him on HBO Max would be good streaming as long as he stays away from the mainstream. Yeah, no one will ever let him be in charge of the mainstream. That was a mistake from the people running WB at the time. That was a mistake to allow Nolan to bring him in. Bobcat, if he does it the right way, I think it will be okay. But the way Snyder would have done it would have been disrespectful to her character. Well, I mean, there were rumors she was going to be in the Snyder Cut, but of course that was never going to happen in my mind. But she's out there. I think the Suicide Squad is going to be the one. But yeah, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen big time. I mean, this merger has kind of put everything into context for me that everything's going to change and everything's up for grabs now. Bobcat, he should never be in charge of anything. Harley related. I think he'll screw her up. Yeah, I don't think Snyder's ever going to be kind of in charge of Harley, so I don't think you need to worry. Bobcat, what do you mean things will happen in the Suicide Squad? Things will happen in the Suicide Squad. I don't specifically mean anything. Poor Bobcat, I'm getting him worried now. Pour yourself a scotch, Bobcat. Calm the nerves. So nothing is Ronnie Dodge. I think the multiverse will be successful. That's my gut. And great if the Snyderverse continues on HBO Max. But Ray needs to be on his best behavior now, as Discovery will be watching. Yeah, it'll be interesting how he conducts himself now. Very interesting. Bobcat, I don't think she'll die if she's getting her own project. But I haven't heard about her getting her own project officially, Bobcat. Night Job, Bobcat, what about David Ayer? And that's going to be interesting. Talking about David Ayer, does this new merger give David's Suicide Squad more of a chance? This is interesting now. Are they going to look to the future? Are they going to try and, are they going to try and bring justice to the past? Very, very interesting. But when you get a merger of this size, and it's huge, you certainly can't guarantee anything for anyone. Bobcat, I like Harley's Air, but I think Gunn will do it better. Well, David Ayer's Harley has been the best so far. Let's get that straight, in my opinion. Bobcat, costume-wise, Gunn has won already. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But for me, it takes more than a costume to make it the character. But I think I am getting very excited for the future now. Bobcat, I love her colours. Oh, the colours are great. I think Ayer really gave us a great Harley. Now, her bending over and the guys looking at her was ridiculous, so I didn't like some of that stuff. Ronnie Dodge, I've seen a couple of people saying they hope this merger cancels The Flash, but that's not, where are we? But that's not happening. It's coming. Well, listen, the film is in production, so they're not going to cancel. Look, the only way that film gets cancelled if this new CEO goes, no, I don't like this idea. You're changing things. I don't want you to change that. We're going to go back to basics. But I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to unless this new ownership, this new merger says, no, you're rebooting the universe. I don't like this idea. Stop now. Then I've never heard of a film being stopped in the middle. It's very rare. These films are in production now, and they need content for next year. So they're not going to do that. There's a lot of people talking a lot of shit on Twitter as usual. We talk about the merger, and these people are talking about Toby Emmerich ruining AT&T. AT&T are not ruined. AT&T were in debt pre-buying Time Warner, and they were still in debt. They didn't have the financial nous to run this huge entity. So they've gone and got help. And this is a big thing. This is not a negative thing. This is a good thing. Shizo 89, seems like the merge every year with something. Well, I don't know, Shizo. Is there a merger every year? Nigel, speaking of The Flash, I've heard The Flash is becoming a Justice League Endgame type of film. I'm hoping that's not the case. I haven't heard that at all. I've heard that this is about Barry bringing his mother back to life, creating a new universe from those actions. And in the end, when he has to fix everything, the universe gets rebooted. So, no. Bobcat, plus in your review, you said the best Harley is in Gunn's A Suicide Squad. Well, listen, I don't want to give away stuff, but she's very, very good in that film. Yeah. I think she's, as a whole, I think she's better in James Gunn's A Suicide Squad. But I also like certain notes of what she does in David's film. And when I was talking about David Ayers, obviously, I'm not talking about the Suicide Squad, because that film hasn't released yet. Sandra Jan reviews, I don't like Harley's costume. You can tell if they sexualized it. Sandra Jan reviews in Suicide Squad. She was overly sexualized in David Ayer's The Suicide Squad, and I'm sure Margot wasn't happy about that, and I can understand that, and I think that's why she went too much the other way. Bobcat, I like Harley's new costumes. They're good, they're good, they're good. So it's all up for grabs. Nobody knew yesterday there was going to be a merger. So nobody can predict or know what's going to happen next. Not Grace Randolph, not Scoopers. Nobody knows now. Nobody predicted this merger. Just remember that. Bobcat, I think this will be the perfect Harley balance. It's going to be interesting what people think about her in the Suicide Squad. That's for sure. Big decisions. I didn't see this in the test screening, but wouldn't it be awesome if Jared Leto makes a shock appearance in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad? That would be special. Now, I didn't see that, but that would be awesome. Sandra Jan reviews. I heard The Flash is a Justice League movie, but with The Flash. It's not a Justice League movie. No, it's not a Justice League movie. You'll see the Justice League in it, I think, but it's not a Justice League movie. Bobcat, but yeah, if Snyder is brought back, I will be ranting. So you don't want Snyder to come back, Bobcat. Ronnie Dodge, Time Discovery joins with Warner Media. It will probably be 2022. Mid-2022 it will be cemented, but they're already announcing what they're going to call themselves this week or next week. Things are in motion already. So it won't be official. You won't have the logos or anything till next year. But, you know, things are happening. And you'll hear their decisions from now. So Bobcat, I'm okay if he comes back. If he scraps the Harley storyline, I don't think he's going to do that. Snyder doesn't go back on what he does. Basically, you've still got Harley Quinn. That's my advice to you, so don't worry about it. In fact, in the next DCEU movie, you've got a whole lot of Harley Quinn. Sam Dejan reviews. Do you think we will see Gal wear the new 52 Wonder Woman costume? Maybe. Maybe, especially if Jeff Johns is still involved, because he was heavily involved in the new 52. So anything's possible. They seem to like her costume. But people are getting hyped about this merger, especially Snyder fans, because they think there's a chance in. So it's a shocking turn of events. And who up? Hello, everyone. Hello, who up? We have a new character in the house. It's a bit like Coronation Street when they get a new character, and it gets very exciting, doesn't it? So basically, what they're doing. Who are we doing, ladies? Oh, sorry. How are we doing, ladies? We're all doing very well. Who are? No ladies here, though, unfortunately. It's just us sweaty lads. Bobcat, hello, who up? Amesh Shakandra, your favourite movie of all time. JFK, directed by Oliver Stone. That film changed my life. I researched the whole assassination. I researched Lee Harvey Oswald. That film inspired me. That's one of the best films ever made from my perspective. That's, Bobcat, I'm starting to panic a little, lol. Why? What are you panicking about? Yeah, JFK, Oliver Stone, one of my favourite directors. I mean, that guy, no one makes the kind of films he did. Amesh, what is your favourite film of all time? Ronnie Dodge, don't get me wrong, I like Snyder, but let him do the darker stuff on HBO Max. And let Walter Hamada do all the stuff that will actually get the general audience interested. Agreed. Bobcat, this Harley storyline. What Harley storyline? What, in the Suicide Squad? Ronnie Dodge, Bobcat, don't panic, mate. Yeah, basically, Bobcat's having his own little meltdown. There's nothing to worry about, mate. Amesh Shakandra, apart from comic book movies, I like Shawshank Redemption. That's a classic. You know, I wouldn't call any modern day film, like I mean, from this era, like the best film ever. I know some people talk about Snyder's films as the best films ever, and I like those films and I love capes, but for me, the greatest films were made in the 80s, you know, some in the 90s. And I mean, obviously, before I was born, things like Gone with the Wind, fucking classic, you know. And then you've got pioneers like Charlie Chaplin. Of course, the cool kids will never talk about this stuff, but I do, because I remember this stuff. I grew up with this stuff. The stuff being made today is nowhere near the quality I grew up with, especially in the 80s. Oh, Bobcat, Zach's Harley storyline. Why are you worried about that when it's done? He did it. Bobcat, wait, so people actually saw Snyder make the best films, makes... Bobcat, wait, so people actually say Snyder makes the best films ever? They do. Ronnie Dodge, I just think if the Snyderverse was restored, and that's a big if, it technically don't be canon, it's Elseworld. Well, Zach actually said during the build-up of the Snyder Cut that, you know, his 3 movies are part of his own Elseworld, yeah. Nightjob, personally, I'm a fan of Mr. Freeze. Would love to see someone do an adaptation from him. What's your favourite DC character? Nightjob, my favourite DC character is Superman. In terms of villains, it's Lex Luthor. But Mr. Freeze would be an amazing DC Dark movie because his story is sensational. He's a doctor. His wife dies. Who up? My favourite film is Parasite. Awesome movie. Awesome movie. Bobcat, Harley Quinn is my favourite fictional character ever. Nightjob. Amesh Shakandra, I've guessed Lex, you look similar. Yeah, I style myself on Lex. I'm an evil genius. Not so much a genius, though. Just evil. But, yeah, Lex became my favourite character because of Michael Rosenbaum in Smallville. What they did with him was show the potential. No one's really shown the potential in that character in live action before Smallville. I thought he was sensational. Bobcat, if you could see my room, you could tell I love Harley. Lots of posters, eh? Oh, I used to have posters of Kylie Minogue, Jason Donovan, and Rick Astley. Who up? Smallville is a top show. Who up? Smallville, for me, is one of my favourite DC live-action franchises. What they did on that show was amazing. And as sad as this sounds, somebody save me. That's Who Up, so I thought I'd sing it. Great show. I could talk about that show forever. Ronnie Dodge, Wonder Woman is still the best DC movie. I know was involved, but he didn't direct it. It's a shame Patty went from that to Wonder Woman 84. Well, listen, I think that Wonder Woman 2017 proves that she was just an episode director. Zach co-wrote that movie. So that says something about Zach, doesn't it, Ronnie? Yeah, Wonder Woman 2017 is one of the best CBMs ever made. Sam the Jam Reviews. Did you hear Jason Keeler is leaving following the Discovery merger? Now, Sam, is this official news or are you picking this up from a blogger? Amesh Shakandra, looks like Bobcat is a huge fan of Harley. Do you think so, Amesh? I'm not sure. Bobcat, I got collectibles, posters, DVDs, weapon replicas, clothing, comics, graphic novels, etc. What you need is a girlfriend who looks like Harley and acts like Harley. Sam Jam Reviews, it is on Twitter. Well, that's massive news. Massive news. What did I say to you? This deal hasn't been cemented, but these people are already leaving. He's probably going to work his notice till next year, but these things are changing all the time. Ronnie Dodge, we need Greg Rucka to write Wonder Woman 3. I know he's doing the thriller with Gal on Netflix. Interesting. I don't know much about his work, though, Ronnie, so... So this is very interesting, isn't it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So I haven't seen anything yet. Oh, that's exciting. Outlander star confirms he's been secretly cast in HBO's House of Dragons. Well, I can't. So this is interesting. So I'm Bobcat, actually, all my gaming consoles have different Harley skins, and my DC Universe characters is modelled after her. She's also my main character in Injustice and Injustice 2. Ronnie Dodge, I reckon if we get up the Henry news, it will be Wednesday. That's my gut. Who up? Have you watched The Shield? Oh my God. The Shield, I watched it years ago. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It is sensational. It is so good, isn't it? And I forgot the actor's name, the bald guy. But yeah, who are a great show, one of my favourites. Those shows are just rare. Who up? Such a good show, absolutely. During an hour-long press briefing on Discovery Warner merger, David Zaslav shared key points. He will now run WB Film operations. Kilar maintains streaming position for now. New company name will be announced in days. Plans to spend $20 billion on streaming annually. That's just sensational. Michael Chiklis, who played the Thing in Fantastic Four as well. Yeah, great actor. He's great in that role. That's a great show, and I really enjoyed it. 8 seasons, wasn't it? Bobcat, I type in my Harley blanket low. Awesome. Just the beast. Hello, everyone. I love you all. We love you too. So that's interesting, but I can't see anything at this point. Just to clarify, J.J. Abrams says he's not directing DC films. So him joining DC and WB was a total fucking waste of time. This is a bad take. This is the kind of take I don't like. Shiraz Faruqi, interesting to see AT&T wave the white flag on Warner Media so quickly after acquisition. With this merger with Discovery, expect some major changes across the board. Thanks for that, Shiraz. Obvious. With David Zaslav leading the company, Jason Kilar is negotiating his exit. Don't be shocked to see others follow. So, yes, it looks like Kilar is leaving. Whether he's leaving now or he'll wait till it all goes through next year, but it's a shame. But unfortunately, the setup didn't work. Now, Kilar tried his best. People saying he wasn't running anything. He was. He was. He was running the streaming element more than anything. But it just goes to show you AT&T just didn't know what they were doing. They had no experience in this industry. So what's happening now? They've done the best for Warner Brothers doing this. This is the best thing. Just the beast. Hello, everyone. I love you. We've done that. Ronnie Dodge. Remember Bad Girls? I love Bad Girls, Ronnie. Duckley. And I used to love Fenner. Amesh Chikandri. Bobcat, you bro, and you need a girl in your life. Bobcat, definitely don't have a Harley obsession, lol. No, I would never say you've got a Harley obsession. Bobcat, I still have my original Batman the Animated Series Season 1 DVD box set where I was introduced to Harley. It's all beaten up and stuff, but I still have it, lol. Wow, awesome. So it looks like Kilar is negotiating his exit. And by the way, Superman and Lois fans, it looks like I won't be able to watch it because I don't have access to it over here. I did have access to it, but I'm not going to, it looks like. So that's interesting. So very exciting things, but I can't find anything official about Keeler. But I'll keep you guys updated on my Twitter at Movies TV Mad. But it looks like Jason Keeler is negotiating his exit. But by the way, let's talk about the AT&T acquisition. If it did nothing else, out of desperation, they released the Snyder Cut. I don't think it would have happened without them. So I thank Jason Keeler. I thank John Stankey. What John Stankey has done with this merger is the best thing. Ben Pottimore, hi Mick, who merged with who? Right, Warner Media, Ben, have merged with Discovery. This will be a brand new company with a new CEO. So this changes everything. Joel Davis, hi Mickey, are you a fan of F1? Not really, I know about it. I used to enjoy it a little bit in the Michael Schumacher days. A bit bored of Lewis Hamilton winning all the time. But no, I don't know much about F1, to be honest. But I do have opinions about everything, so. And that's why I call myself Big Mouth. Because I've got a big mouth. Get used to it. So, the stuff's changing all the time. The stuff with Jason Keeler. Surprising? Is it surprising? Not surprising? Look, Keeler was put there because he has great experience with Hulu. So it's a shame. It's sad. Nobody wants to see a good person lose their job. But Keeler just seemed. Who up? How do you feel about the Netflix show Big Mouth? Oh, I love it. It's so much fun, isn't it? All that sexual innuendo. It is so creative and brilliant. I love it. Bobcat says Suicide Squad was a big deal to me, I can imagine. Bobcat, everyone around me heard about Suicide Squad, lol. It's not the best movie ever, but it will always have a special place in my heart. Same with Birds of Prey. I definitely enjoyed Suicide Squad better than Birds of Prey. I think considering it's edited by a pop music editing company, I think that theatrical version is pretty cool. And I enjoyed it, especially the Batman cameo, the Flash cameo, the way it opens up mentioning Superman's death. I think it's pretty awesome, to be honest with you, Bobcat. I like that film. I don't think it's a bad movie. And I thought the critics got it wrong. And the film made lots of money. I think Will Smith is one of the reasons. Will didn't come back for the Suicide Squad because he wanted to stay loyal to David Ayer, which is a shame. So they kind of replaced him with Idris Elba. Ben Pottimore, Big Mouth with Nick Kroll. Who's Nick Kroll, mate? And by the way, Bobcat, the way you go on about all these characters, I used to bore everyone about Smallville. My obsession with Smallville was infamous. I used to have a Twitter account called at Smallville Mad. Oh, Bobcat Bloodsport, that's it? Who's Nick Kroll? Ben Pottimeyer. God, this stream's sailing today. I'm really enjoying this stream, having something to actually talk about. And I mean, the biggest news in the world. I mean, I just think this is huge. It really is. And as I say, there's nothing negative about these news because now we can see it wasn't good for us, the IPs, to remain with AT&T. Just the Beast, do you believe the curse of Superman is real? No, Just the Beast, I don't. I think it's absolute nonsense. There are some coincidences there, of course, but I think Brandon Routh's doing okay. Who up? Nick Kroll is a comedian who is in Big Mouth. Oh, I didn't know that. Bobcat, I can name all the members of the Suicide Squad film off the top of my head. Deadshot, Harley, the guy who does fire, I don't know his name. Abraham Herrera, Smallville set the bar for today's shows. It was revolutionary. Early 2000s was a good era. Yes, Abraham, I'm glad someone says it on social media. The early 2000s, look at it, look at this. Smallville, Alias, Lost, 24 is one of the best television shows ever made like a feature every week. And there's so many more as well. Prison Break. But Smallville is better than any Arrowverse show. Smallville, for me, will never be beaten. And people can go on about Daredevil, but that only had one good season. Just a Beast. Did you see Corridor Digital CGI Superman's mustache back on? I did not. Marilyn Lockhead, DC. Just a Beast. Looked much better. Did it? Ben Pottimeyer. Who are? That show is hilarious. Amesh Shakandri, when Smallville aired, I was just 3 or 4 years old, Lo. I was about 28, 27, and it changed everything for me. I said, I actually said it when I first saw it. This is a new revolutionary way of making television. The quality, the character development, the action, just this character-driven story of how Clark Kent's going to become Superman and how Lex Luthor is going to become that megalomaniac. And to see the friendship and to see the relationships, it's just a sensational show. And Entity Effects did really well for a TV show for the special effects. The opening meteor shower in the pilot still holds up as far as I'm concerned. So if you were 3 or 4 in 2001, so we're now in, so how old are you now, 20? I'm not very good at maths. Just a Beast. Would you ever get behind a Superman DC musical? On the stage, yes. In a film, no. Bobcat, I legit turn into a promotional page for whatever the new Harley movie is, lol. I used to be like that with every new episode of Smallville. Who up? Somebody save me. Amesh Shakandra, 23, still a young man. I'm 48. But I can't do anything about age. Nightjaw, laughing emoji. Marilyn Lockhead, what major changes will Discovery make over at Warner Brothers, in your opinion? I think executives' heads are going to roll. This had to happen, Marilyn. Had to happen. We couldn't carry on the way we was. You know, we know what they did. We know what they did to Snyder. Whatever you think of Snyder, the way they behaved, the way they treated Ray Fisher, you know, listening to Gal Gadot's complaints and ignoring him isn't a good look, no matter how Ray conducts himself. So not just that, we couldn't carry on. Clearly, there's an issue. And they were just going to carry on doing what they were going to do. So heads will roll. And I think changes with the DC live action, you're going to get projects you wouldn't have done with these people. So it's interesting. Bobcat, yeah, but I can name every member of James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, even though it isn't even out yet. Oh, my memory's not that good. Nigel, do you think there will be another Cyborg film? Yes, and I think Ray's got a better chance than he had of playing that character now. So, but yeah, I mean, look, listen, whatever you think of Ray Fisher and Zack Snyder, what a tremendous job they did with Cyborg in Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. It is tremendous. And I mean, the guy didn't even need an origin film to set him up. It was brilliant. So I think Cyborg, I think Zack gave us the potential of how great Cyborg can be. Nightjaw, agreed. Yeah, because I just think he was great in the Snyder Cut. I think it was emotional, and they didn't try and make him a joke. They didn't try and cheapen him. It was great. Zack's got good takes. Zack can do these things. Bobcat, I watch videos of people talking about the film and forgetting names, and I sit there and I list off the character and actor. Listen, Bobcat, I loved Game of Thrones and I can barely remember any of those characters' names. I think there's Cersei, there's Tyrion, Jon Snow, that's all I can remember. But I know all the Dallas characters because that was my favourite show growing up. And this afternoon I was watching lots of old Dallas clips. Love it. I love old JR. You'll never have a character like that on telly again. And the only character that's ever got near J.R. Ewing was Lionel Luthor in Smallville. Abraham Herrera. And the thing is, at the end of the movie, Cyborg wasn't bitter anymore. There's the potential. Yeah, that's it. He wasn't as bitter. He's always going to be like he is. He's this guy. He's taken over, his mind is not, he's got all this information. So he's never going to be totally content and happy. This guy is always going to have a lot of shit going on in his head. And I think what Zach and Ray did was showed us the potential of that. Now, Ray's obsessed with the element of him being a black man and how he was, displayed, and that's great for him. But that's not how I see it. I look at it as a character. I don't look at people, where they're from, what they look like, what colour they are. I don't care about shit like that. Who up? Do you work in TV, Mike? You know so much about it. I am developing the first English-speaking dramas here on Cypriot TV for the Sigma Television Network. We've been working on it for a few years. It's difficult, but yes. So I do work in television. Obviously, I love TV. I love storytelling. I love films. That's why I know so much of it mainly. But yeah, I'm very passionate about storytelling. Bobcat, I think this film will flip people to the new DC universe. I think people love DC. I think DC has a lot of fans, and obviously it's been uneven. And hopefully now with this new merger, we can set the course. So I'm very excited. Joe Davies, is there a release date for your TV show? No, still in development. Development hell. Very difficult out here because they've never done anything like that. To have English-speaking dramas in a foreign-speaking country is difficult. But we have so many British expats here, and that's why I came up with the idea. Sitting there one day, so many English people, we don't have access to the BBC, So I'm working on it. They know my concepts. They know what I want to do. Ronnie Dodge, apparently Toby and David are friends, so it's interesting. There's no friendships in entertainment, mate. Why was he looking for a job at Netflix? Joel Davies, are you going to act in it, Mickey? Yes. I will act in all of my dramas, or they won't happen. So, who wants to hear about my dramas? Because we're running out of time here. So, I've mentioned this before. So, we have a show called Trapped, set in a town called Redford, which I named after my love for Manchester United, who were red. It's about this town where these mysterious metal-looking walls block the exits and entrances of the town, and nobody knows the source. But we do know that the mayor of the town, Jimmy Webb, made the deal with let's just say, with a kind of a devil that might have caused this. Thank you, Who Up. So that's that. Then there's Finding Claire, about this guy. Who Up, I want to hear. Thank you. So then there's Finding Claire, about this guy who discovers his girlfriend Claire has gone missing, and he's kind of traveling around with this young homeless woman trying to find Claire. And he finds out some things about her he didn't know. They travel from town to town each week, helping people while they stop off and trying to find clues to where Claire is. So very interesting there for me anyway. So what's the other one? So we've got Alone. Alone's about a guy who wakes up to find himself alone in the world. No more life forms, no animals, no nothing, no electric. The only thing he can hear is bashing under the ground 24/7, and it's driving him insane. This is a show about different levels. Each season, this character will find himself in different levels. The first season, he's alone and he's trying to figure it out. Then he goes underground. So it's a bit like, it's not a computer game, but each season will be a different level. And so so that's Alone. Now, what I decided to do is make these shows a franchise. So in the end, all these story ideas will connect together. Ronnie Dodge, the reason I think The Flash will be successful is because the fans of Michael Keaton, and also the current DC fans, and also the general audience. But let's see. Listen, The Flash is a huge IP. People are going to come in. People are going to be interested. People have been wanting a Flash movie for years. So people will come in, but it's all about repeat views. And if it's a good film, people will keep on watching it. Ronnie Dodge, we might be doing a paranormal show, but can't. Who's doing it at that moment? Just found out 5 minutes ago. Oh, right, okay. Bobcat, okay, so Finding Claire and Alone sound amazing. Finding Claire in particular, I really want to watch that. Well, thank you. So, yeah, basically, Finding Claire is about Claire, who goes missing, and my character and a young homeless girl called Blue travel basically the country and stop off each place every week. A bit like Doctor Who, he's got this companion, they're looking for Claire, and it's basically the truth behind her disappearance isn't what you may think. Joel David, sounds incredible, Mickey. Can't wait to watch it. Thank you for your support, Joel. Who up? Hell, yeah, sounds good. Thank you. Just a Beast. Would you ever remake Only Fools and Horses? You know what? I love comedy. I'm not really good at writing comedy, but why should anyone redo Only Fools and Horses? It's a classic. I think we should leave it, don't you? Just the Beast, best show ever. Only Fools and Horses, I still watch it. It's fantastic. We don't get sitcoms like this because the world's gone mad. The sitcom is dead now, isn't it? Which is a tragedy. Nightjaw, it sounds good. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. My show Trapped, my story Trapped was inspired by Lost because I was obsessed with Lost at the time. Ronnie Dodge, going out ghost hunting again this weekend. Maybe we see a whole body this time. You never know. Just don't have sex with the ghosts. Ronnie Dodge, hopefully we get to see it here in the UK. That would be a major success story if that happened. Bobcat, I really want to watch Finding Claire, though. Will it be available in America? I'm not that elite, but let's see what happens. At the moment, I'm just developing these shows for Cyprus, but who knows what the future holds. But that's a dream, isn't it? Oh, yeah, and there's another idea I've got called Uncle. So listen to my uncle idea, right? So basically, this guy is in prison for statutory rape. He's innocent. This girl who had a crush on him lied about him. He's in prison, right? Her name is also Blue, but I would have to change her name. So anyway, he's approached by this weird, spooky old guy in prison. And he's told by this guy that this character is the first human alien clone. And 25% of the world's children are also human alien clones. And his father developed these clones. He made a deal with an alien race, and this alien race are coming to collect these children. And this guy in prison is the only guy who can stop this. And his brothers and sisters are in on it. They're part of this. They cloned their own children, and they're going to give their children to these aliens. So Uncle is a story about this character having to protect all these children, and they've got abilities and everything, so they will become superheroes. And so that's kind of that idea as well. Ronnie Dodge, has the pandemic knocked back the process of your show at the moment? No, because we didn't get to the shooting stage, unfortunately. It's more the development stage right now. Bobcat, I want to watch that too. Yeah, so the Uncle one really is based of my love of my nephews and nieces. So I wanted, so I was inspired by this. So that's why I came up with that idea. Who up? Does he have to be in prison for statutory? I don't know I think you do go to prison for that, yeah. But he's innocent, so he will get out of jail, and he will meet the person who accused him of that, and he will forgive her. So it's always fun to express yourself and be creative. And, even if your stories never get out there, Ronnie Dodge, just thinking that Discovery CEO David is basically going to be our Bob Iger. Yes, this is huge. I mean, this is a company that's only got a 29% stake in this new company, and he's going to be the CEO. He's the CEO of Discovery. So that says something. Bobcat, I'm very excited about these shows. Thank you, Bobcat. Ronnie Dodge, Bob Iger, that's right. Look, it's very exciting, and Disney are going to be very, very nervous about this. There's no question about that. But it's not about Disney. It's about Warner Brothers getting it right. This is a newly formed company. As I say, heads are going to roll. You know, I'm a Warner Brothers supporter. I've always have been. It's always been my studio. I mean, they've come up with so much stuff that I've loved. So, Ronnie Dodge, Disney should be nervous. They're probably like, oh, crap. Yes, because this is big. This is huge. Nobody saw this coming. When AT&T bought this, everyone was saying this is just a company that knows nothing about entertainment, which is true, in debt, and they were trying to solidify their debt by buying this company. But Stanky, the CEO of AT&T, has come up with a fucking fantastic deal that takes Warner Media to another level, and nobody saw this coming. So they're trying to make this negative. Oh, AT&T have given away Warner Media, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't matter. What matters is what this means for the company and the fans. Bobcat, your comment towards Mickey about banging the ghost law. What about show where I human fell in love with a ghost? Sound like it could be a series or sitcomish. That would be good. Hasn't that been done before? But I'd be interested in that. Abraham Herrera, but what is Discovery's agenda? What is their vision? Well, their vision, Abraham, is basically to create a huge streaming service. They're going to take HBO Max. They're going to change the name. It's going to have huge content. Their Discovery stuff. They're going to spend $20 billion a year on content. That's their vision. And God knows what their vision for DC is as well. That's exciting. Ronnie Dodge, Aquaman and Shark Week crossover. Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to make those jokes, aren't they? Ronnie Dodge, isn't Casper a girl falling in love with a boy, a ghost? Yeah. And then obviously the Ghost movie, but obviously they were together, Molly and Sam, before he became a ghost. Honestly, Ghost is one of my favourite films. What a fucking film. Patrick Swayze, what a guy, lovely guy. I was devastated when he died. Bobcat, exciting or terrifying depending on Snyder. Yeah, I reckon Zack Snyder should make a Casper the Friendly Ghost. Do you imagine how gruesome that would be? Nitro, I'm honestly hoping for them to outdo Disney, but they have to play their cards right to get that far. Yeah, I think this CEO is definitely their secret weapon for sure. Ronnie Dodge, Ghost and Jack Frost makes me cry. Oh, Ghost and Jack Frost makes me cry. Oh, yeah, they're great films. They really are. Ghost isn't a sensational film. Really, Ghost is such a simple movie, but so effective. So great. These movies were fantastic, and these creatively bankrupt creators of today have no idea how to make little movies like that because it's about kindness and representation and inclusion. Will you ever mention the word entertainment? Oh, about 4 minutes before we sign off for tonight. It's been a great stream, everyone. I've genuinely enjoyed it. Oh, God. I thought I spilled my water, but there was no water left. Oh, I shit myself there. There's a little drop. My God, I would have gone ballistic. Ronnie Dodge, I definitely think this is a really good move. It's a shame it won't come into play until next year. Yeah, officially it won't, but you're going to be seeing these decisions like the Kilo one coming fast. Bobcat, you know the logo for the animated Harley series where it's like neonish? No. So, Ronnie Dodge, sorry, I like Snyder, but I was having a mini bitch fit. It's okay, no problem. This is the place to do it. I have them all the time. It's fine. This is what the internet's about. Mini bitch fits is what the internet's all about. Tell me before I go, Bobcat. Tell me about this neonish logo, Bobcat. I've been thinking about getting a neon sign of the logo done for my wall. That would be awesome, my friend. Show us a picture when you've done it. That will be damn awesome. Damn awesome. So we're signing off in a minute. So the headlines are that Warner Media and Discovery have merged to create a brand new motion picture company. which will unify them, create a big, huge streaming service, and who knows what else. This is a new future. This is exciting for fans of the WB IPs. This is a new future, and anything's possible. Ronnie Dodge, but at least I don't go to Walter Hamada and attack his family. I have respect, unlike certain fans. Now that's a bitch fit. So they're the headlines tonight, basically. Everything's changing at Warner Media. The acquisition of Time Warner by AT&T was just the beginning. Who knows what the ending is? Bobcat, I mean, once again, out of every character ever created ever, Harley's my favourite. And if Snyder comes back and kills her, I will be livid. He's not going to touch her. He's not going to get the opportunity. Ronnie Dodge, sorry I had to, lol, meow. It's fine, no problem whatsoever. So everyone, thank you for joining the stream. I'm going to sign off now. We've been here for an hour and 20 minutes, so I've been shooting my mouth off for that. How I've done it with my throat, I don't know. Bobcat, agreed, Ronnie, and Snyder is fueling it in a way. Oh, God. Bobcat really is in that. You see, Zach, you should never have killed Harley. Now you've got Bobcat on your back. So thank you, everyone, for joining tonight's stream. Bobcat, great stream, Mickey. Keep up the amazing content. Thank you, Bobcat. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support, everyone. Each one of you in the chat tonight has been absolutely fantastic. You've made my evening. You've made me happy. I like it when the chat is going like this. We had something really exciting to talk about today. I will keep you updated with all things DC. Ronnie Dodge, I swear, if he does come back, I will read naked. Oh, dear Ronnie. So, I will run. Right, Bobcat, see you on the next stream. See you, everyone. See you, everyone. Comment down below if you're rewatching this. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow morning giving you your daily updates with the Big Mouth Daily. I'll be back tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. UK time with Big Mouth Live. Who up? Great stream. Lovely to meet everyone. Lovely to meet you, Who up? Who up? See you again soon. Yeah, hopefully you come back for the next stream. Ronnie Dodge, see you later, mate. See you later, Ronnie. Ronnie Dodge correcting himself. Mate, yes, see you later, mate. And I'm signing off now. Definitely. Thank you. I'm buzzing. It's been great. Support the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell the whole world about me. And who knows what the future might hold. And you will always be the originals. Nightjaw, look forward to your next stream. Thank you very much, Nightjaw. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support, everyone. And I'll see you again soon. Good night. Bobcat, and remember, don't kill Harley. I'll try not to. See you later.